All right. Back at y'all early in the morning with some content, man. We had to get on this one real early. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Let me see. Make these adjustments real quick. Come on, man. So Officer Tatum is back at it again. YouTube, get them notifications out there, man. Quit playing. Let's get the people up in here real early. But yeah, man, Officer Tatum is at it again. And like if you a black person and you fool with Officer Tatum, you're the worst of the worst. Like one thing about Tatum is this. Officer Tatum is gonna do everything in his power to defend white people. And it's sad. It is ridiculous. I've never seen a man. Well, I ain't gonna say I've never seen because I've seen this kind before, but it's ridiculous that a man will go this far to defend white people, right? It's crazy. But I guess he's getting paid to do it. So there it is right there. These people are getting paid to do this. Let's use a black man to defend the honor of white people. And that's exactly what Officer Tatum is being used for. And like I said, man, the writing is on the wall. One thing that he's never going to do is hold white people accountable. He's never going to do it. I don't even know why people expect him to. You know, when you get paid to just throw black people under the bus while ignoring everything that white people do, that right there is a sickness. And listen, I'm not the type of person that's saying you can't hold black people accountable. You know, if you know me, then if you know me, then you know. But when you go out of your way to defend white people, it's insanity, man. It's insanity. Disrespecting disrespecting black people at all costs, every chance he gets, while ignoring the red flags from white people. It's crazy. Then you got people like Angry Man saying that, well, me, Officer Tatum, and Anton, like, come on, man. Like any black person that co-signs Tatum, you already know what it is. And I don't want to hear no nonsense by saying Officer Tatum is just holding black people accountable. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. Nobody with common sense actually believes that. He's not just hold. If it was all about accountability, then he would hold white people accountable to the same level that he holds black folks. But he doesn't do that. Let's be real. Like, let's just be real about the whole situation. You'll never see Officer Tatum holding white people accountable for anything. White people can do no wrong in the eyes of Officer Tatum. They just can't do no wrong in his eyes. Hit the like button if you haven't already. The game is heavy, baby. Oh my goodness, this is insanity. So, Officer Tatum is disrespecting the parents of Nolan Wells. He's disrespecting Nolan Wells. And the crazy part about it is he's trying to blame black people. What about the black people that was there? What about the black people that was there? Maybe they're guilty. So now he's looking for an angle to blame. Listen, now he's looking for an angle to blame the few black people who happened to be there at the time of Nolan's death, or maybe they was just on the vacation at the same time. I don't know if they was around at the time of Nolan's death, but he's looking for any opportunity to place some of that blame on the black people, right? So this right here is a sickness. And the thing about it, YouTube promotes the hell out of his channel because he's doing their dirty work. So of course they're going to promote his platform. One thing that they love to do is they love to use a black man to push their narrative. When have you ever heard, excuse me, let me slow it down real quick. When have you ever heard Officer Tatum hold white supremacists accountable for anything? When have you ever heard Officer Tatum admit that racism and white supremacy is a major problem in this country? I'm not saying that we should blame everything on racism, but to pretend like it doesn't exist is insanity. I've never heard Officer Tatum hold white folks accountable for anything. I just never heard him do it. And I don't think he's gonna do it. Why? Because he gets paid not to. He gets paid not to hold white people accountable. So that's why you will never see him do it. Oh man, this is insanity, bro. Insane. And my thing is this. Officer Tatum, there's many ways to make money on social media. Doing this is just like, but I guess you don't give a damn. You've been doing this for so long. It's normal. It's regular protocol for you, man. Hit the like button if you haven't already. I need you guys to get up in here, man, and we need to get this channel back in the algorithm, because what's going on right now is utterly disgusting. It is disgusting right now. It makes me sick to my stomach to even know that we have black men like this. Officer Tatum is a waste of black man. Officer Tatum is a disgrace to black people. And listen, I'm not the type of person who feel like you can't hold black people accountable. That's not the angle that I come from. My thing is this: if you're gonna hold black folks accountable, if you're gonna hold black folks accountable, then hold white folks accountable at the same level. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you can't hold black people accountable when they deserve to be held accountable. I'm not that type of guy. You know how Anton Daniels loved to say that he's an equal opportunity smoke giver. Well, I'm an equal opportunity smoke giver. If you're wrong, you're wrong, and if you're right, you're right. That's my belief. If you're gonna ask how so, then you're just lost and clueless. Officer Tatum's. When have you ever heard this dude hold white people accountable? When have you ever heard him hold white society accountable for the racism that they started in this country? When have you ever heard him hold white folks accountable for that? I'm gonna say it again for you slow people. When have you ever heard Officer Tatum hold white society accountable for the racism that they created in this country? When have you ever heard them hold white folks accountable? Never. Accountability is only for black folks when it comes to Officer Tatum. I'm gonna say it again for you people who are too slow. Accountability is only for black people when it comes to Officer Tatum. Accountability ain't for white people. Why do I say that? Because you never hear this guy hold white people accountable for anything. He might talk about a white liberal, but one thing that you're never going to hear, one thing that you're never going to see is Officer Tatum hold a white conservative accountable for anything. My God. See, I'm going to say this. When people say black people this and black people don't want to be held accountable, this country has used propaganda against blacks for centuries. When have black people never, name a time and era to where black people were not held accountable for something? I mentioned this yesterday on my podcast. If a white man commits a crime and a black man commits a crime, it can be the same crime. Historically, and if you look at the stats and data, black men will serve more prison time for the same crime that a white man committed. If you don't believe me, look it up yourself. So don't talk to me about accountability. Nobody has gotten away with crimes on the same level that white people has. No other race has gotten away with things that white folks have gotten away with in this country. These are just historical facts. White T liberals are soft targets, right? So same as Angry Man, the same as Anton Daniels. What we see is a pattern. It's called pattern recognition. Anton Daniels, Angry Man, Officer Tatum, they'll talk about a white liberal, but they'll never hold a white conservative accountable for anything. They're not going to do it. Right. If you look at the Carmelo Anthony case versus the case in Allison, what's the difference between Carmelo Anthony and Case and Allison? Well, I'm going to tell you. Carmelo Anthony is black. Case and Allison is white. Case and Allison stabbed a kid multiple times and only got 10 years. He'll be home in 5. I'm going to say it again for you people who are too slow. Both of these situations happened in the state of Texas. Case and Allison, a white kid, takes a knife to school and stabs a Mexican kid to death, stabs him multiple times, told everybody prior to the homicide, Case and told everybody he wanted to put Jose Ramirez on life support. Then eventually he executed the game plan. Stabbed the kid multiple times. He tried to go on a run. You can look at the text message. You can look at the text messages and see that Case and Allison was trying to go on a run. He was trying to get out of town after he unalived Jose Ramirez, which further proves that he was a flight risk. They gave this white kid 10 years for premeditated murder. He told everybody he wanted to put this kid on life support. Case and Allison is a white kid. He took a knife to school. Why did he take that knife to school? Because he anticipated an altercation with Jose Ramirez. Case and Allison gets 10 years for a premeditated homicide. Carmelo Anthony stabbed somebody in the heat of the moment. He gets charged with first-degree murder. Even though he stabbed this individual once and runs off, he's charged with first-degree murder. So that right there is more proof when I say that black men serve more prison time for the same crimes that white men commit. And to take it a step further, what Case and Allison did was 10 times worse. But yet and still, he got less time than Carmelo Anthony. Anyway, let's get into the content, family. Hit the like button. Let's get into it. I want you guys to see how much of a hypocrite and a tap dancer and a flat-out liar that Officer Tatum is.
This young man lost his life, and his legacy is being marred by night drink. One that helps you go to sleep, wake up with energy. It's American-made, American. Been privy to this for a while. We saw the writing on the wall. It's very disheartening that this young man lost his life and his legacy is being marred by lies and grifting. Nolan Wells, this is the thing that kills me about what people say about Nolan. White man bad. These white boys are evil. They had killed Nolan. The history of racism in Mississippi. But Nolan didn't think they were racist, did he? Did Nolan think they were these people? Clearly he didn't. These were the people he kicking it with. Show me the picture of him and the other kids on the lake. He with these kids. All his pictures on the lake is with them. They the ones said, come back with us. We got to leave. We need you to come back and get on the boat. He said, no. Y'all don't question the other friends out there? What about his black friends? Did they make sure he get home safe? Oh, they don't count. Because you need it to be the white boys. White man bad, white man bad. Y'all got a clip out right now. Playing a clip, putting fake words on it. Nolan, is he dead? And then y'all have witnesses and evidence that people have seen Nolan alive on the island far after Warren them left. And now what you're going to do with that? You're going to double down and say people getting paid to say that. You can't make this stuff up, man. Let's get the first clip rolling.
New at 9, parents of Nolan Wells' friends and local officials were reportedly sent notices of intent informing them to expect lawsuits in connection with the investigation surrounding Wells' death. According to our media partner, the Sun Herald, those letters were sent by a Richland law firm, Carroll Bufkin PLLC, who is working alongside civil rights attorney Ben Crump. It is unclear at this time who exactly received these letters, but we do know they instruct recipients to immediately preserve all evidence in their possession in its original form and directs those recipients to suspend any automatic deletion or overwrite functions that could destroy evidence.
Y'all, this is all a media play. If somehow these boys were to have been responsible, you think 2-3 weeks later, you're going to send out a letter for them to preserve what evidence? If they really did this, this is a waste of your time and resources. If you're going to send a notice to them to preserve documents and all this other stuff, it's 3 weeks later. If they are such calculated murderers, they've had 3 weeks to concoct this. They'd have got rid of that stuff. You have no evidence available to you.
Look how hard he's going to defend these people, man. Now, you could say that, oh, well, you don't have no proof. You don't have no proof that they didn't do it. We don't have proof that they did it, even though the evidence is leaning towards that way. But you don't have proof that they're innocent, and you're going so hard to defend them. This is crazy, y'all.
But it's all games that they play because people want money out of this situation.
Casey Allison was in high school, same state. It was the same state of Texas. Casey Allison stabbed that kid multiple times and only got 10 years, and he'll be home in 5. And he told everybody he wanted to do it prior to the whole situation happening. The difference is Casey Allison is white, Carmelo Anthony is black. Now let's get back to the facts of this case.
I'm not really convinced yet that the parents are as malicious as Benjamin Crump and them are. I think they're being manipulated by Benjamin Crump. I think they have a checklist of this will get you the most money. Why are you suing kids with no evidence that anything happened?
Shout out to Tisha for the Cash App. Shout out to my man SR Cern for the Cash App. Shout out to the real people who appreciate the damn truth. Like, golly, like, come on, man. But shout out to my real supporters. You know what I mean? The loyal few supporters that we got over here. Shout out to y'all. But this right here is just downright ridiculous. He's going hard in the paint to defend these white boys. One thing that Officer Tatum is never going to do is hold white folks accountable. He's never going to do that. So I don't know why we expect him to. This right here is exactly what you get from a Sambo like Officer Tatum. He's never going to hold white people accountable to the same level that he holds black people. He's never going to do that. He ain't said a damn word about Jake Lang. Absolutely nothing. No Chud the Builder videos. He never makes videos about white supremacy or racist white folks and how that's a major problem in this country. When he does admit that racism exists, he minimizes it or he makes excuses for it. This dude is sick. He's a poor excuse for a black man.
We have no evidence that any wrongdoing happened. It's still open to this point that
you have no evidence that they didn't do it, but yet and still you're going hard in the paint to defend them.
Could have just drowned. But when you looking for
he just drowned, we're not buying that. We're not buying that.
What happened? It's still open to this point that Nolan could have just drowned. God. But when you looking for a paycheck and you're not looking for justice, these are the things that you do. On the day of his funeral, this document came out. The day of his funeral, they filed to establish an estate in his name. Why would they do that? I was told they do that so they can then sue for wrongful death. Why at the day of his funeral are you trying to do this? The boy can't even be put to rest. This is the thing that bothers me because all of this is unnecessary, isn't it? If my son were to go on a trip with his friends, and they clearly are his mother freaking friends, because he's kicking it with them. He ain't kicking it with these other boys. He kicking it with the white boys that you swear aren't his friends. Okay.
I don't know who's worse. Who's worse, Stephen from Django or Officer Tatum? I mean, seriously, and I like how you put that in the comments. Who's worse, Stephen from Django or Officer Tatum? I don't know who's worse, man.
My son go with his friends. All of this is unnecessary, isn't it? If my son were to go on a trip with his friends, and they clearly are his mother freaking friends, because he kicking it with them. He ain't kicking it with these other boys. He kicking it with the white boys that you swear aren't his friends. Okay. My son go with his friends. He don't come back, he's dead. His friend's mama reach out to me. You telling me I'm gonna talk to Benjamin Crump before I talk to his mama? Benjamin Crump can't do nothing for me. He ain't there. He wasn't with my son. His son ain't connected to my son. His friend's mama is gonna do more for me than Benjamin Crump can. Why won't you talk to his mama and say, all right, let's talk. Hey, where were your son them at? I need the cell phone. Can I at least look through their cell phone and make sure? Now, if you do that, and mom and them go, no, you can't look through my kid's cell phone, then you could start questioning. But for the mother of Warren, his stepmother, and his real mother, to reach out to you and you don't even talk to them at all, and they could be holding the key that can help you find out what happened to your son, that to me just doesn't sit right. I would never have my son die, and I'm like, the kids he was with.
See, one thing listen, family. Let me tell my black folks something. I might not agree with everything that black people do because I have my criticism. I have my own criticisms of my people. Sometimes I got to hold my people accountable. But one thing that you're never going to see me do is throw my own people under the bus for white validation, for white acceptance, for currency, for money. You're not going to see me throw my people under the bus for that. I'll never do that. The thing is, people get mad at me for just telling the truth about some of our behaviors. They don't like that. But I'm never going to throw my people under the bus to appease white folks. Not going to do that, homie. I've never done it. As long as I've been on YouTube, you've never seen me do it. I've never done it in real life. I never did it on YouTube. Let's get back to the facts. I need everybody that's rocking with the channel to bless that like button. Let's go.
Stepmother and his real mother to reach out to you and you don't even talk to them at all, and they could be holding the key that can help you find out what happened to your son, that to me just doesn't sit right. I would never have my son die, and I'm like, the kids he was with, parents reaching out to me, and I'm like, I ain't talking to y'all. But I want to know what happened to my son, but I ain't talking to y'all. And I'm not saying it's them. I think that these attorneys are telling them not to talk to him because they need to bolster this idea of racial tension so they can make as much money as possible out of this. Because there's no way in the world I wouldn't be calling these people on the phone. No, where your mama at? Put your mama on the phone. Hey, look, my son is missing. I need some answers. Can I come by the crib? I need to come and look through some stuff. Who's the last person to talk to my son? I'm gonna come get his phone myself because I'm gonna need to talk to people. We need to figure out where you at, what time, who's seen him, how often you see him, who was he with, what girl, what's her name, what's her number, what her social media look like. I need to find out everything I can because I need to find out what happened to my child. Not that I'm gonna go retain Benjamin Crump and they gotta take 6 to 8, 10 months to get this material in their possession.
When have you guys ever seen Officer Tatum go hard in the paint to hold white people accountable for something? When have you ever seen him do that? The only time, the only time Officer Tatum has a problem with white people is when an individual comes at him. Collectively, he'll never hold white people accountable. Now, if a white individual comes at him sideways, then he'll go in on that white person that's going in on him. But collectively, or as a group, no, he's never going to hold white people accountable as a group. He's never going to hold white people accountable as collectively. He'll never hold them accountable. Like, he'll never do that. The only time he has a problem with a white person is if that white person comes at him personally. That white person got to make that white person has to attack him personally. Then he'll defend himself against that one white person. But as a whole, he's not going to hold white people accountable for anything, not collectively. No, he's not going to do that. because he's a good old boy. He's going to stay in pocket. He's going to stay in his place. He's never going to get out of pocket to correct white people or white society for anything. Officer Tatum is a damn disgrace to the black race. He's despicable. He's pathetic. He's a terrible individual. Never in a million years will he hold white people accountable on the same level that he holds blacks. He will not. If Officer Tatum gave a damn about humanity and accountability, surely he would take the time to hold some of these white folks accountable. But guess what? He's never going to do it. And I think we know why. Money, the bag.
This whole time, you could talk to the people that you think were responsible. All of them reached out. Warren reached out. Trayston reached out. The mamas, Warren parents reached out. I think some other parents reached out. And this whole time, where people in press conferences crying about what happened to Nolan, and you not even, Benjamin Crump could go talk to these people. Why he haven't? I just found out Benjamin Crump getting ready to do an interview on somebody's show. We sent them a letter, and Benjamin Crump said, oh, they're not doing interviews no more. Well, what's the truth? And then people get mad at me. Oh, you do. I tried to talk to Benjamin Crump. They don't want to hear what I have to say.
Excuse me, my bad. This is tap dancing at its finest right here. It's like, check it out.
D.L. Hughley just rage baited Officer Tatum to expose himself. See, Tatum has been in a situation pretending like, you know, he's not a tap dancer, pretending like he just wants the truth, when in fact, you know, his real intentions for bringing up how many black kids were on the island and things of that sort was to redirect the attention to black folks and take it away from the white folks that was suspects. And he just exposed his hand, right? And all it took was a little rage bait from D.L. Hughley, okay? So D.L. Hughley responded to Officer Tatum, who has had his name in his mouth the last 2 weeks, right? D.L. Hughley finally gave him the smoke he was waiting for.
This is Brandon Tatum.
Y'all just see what unfunny ex-comedian D.L. Hughley just said about me. Posted a picture of me and my wife. To do what? To be a racist?
Hold on, Tatum. You can't play that race card, bro. You have said on numerous occasions, racism is no longer a thing. It doesn't exist. So if it's no longer a thing, then D.L. Hughley can't be racist, according to you.
How is racism not a thing anymore? Do you understand how many white supremacist groups you have in this country? And like I say, a lot of people just don't know. When they think of white supremacists, they think of the Ku Klux Klan. The Ku Klux Klan is outdated. They're old news. They have modern day white supremacist militia groups all across the country. So if the first thing you come up with is the KKK, it shows that you're outdated when it comes to what's really going on. There's several white supremacist groups all across the country, and guess what? They march, they protest. A lot of these white nationalists are undercover white supremacists themselves, but then you have full-fledged white supremacists who don't hide it. And there's plenty groups all across the country. There's no shortage of them. So if I say white supremacists and the only thing that comes to your mind is a KKK, you're outdated. You need to update your information. You really don't know. You really don't understand what's going on for real. The KKK is old. The KKK is old and outdated. They got a white supremacist group. They have white supremacist groups that are way more militant, way more sophisticated, very strategic. Please understand that. I think I'm gonna do a whole show about that, and I'm gonna give you guys, and I'm gonna write down the list. I'm gonna give you a list of these new white supremacist organizations that's been around for decades now. I think I'm gonna do a whole live stream, and we're gonna break down all these different white supremacist groups that spread throughout the whole country.
Now, D.L. Hughley didn't post the picture of Tatum and his wife to humiliate him. He posted a picture to get a point out. See, Tatum have been out here parading, doing PR work for potential suspects in Nolan Wells' murder, right? Potential suspects. I'm not saying they did it, but they are suspects. So he been out here running PR, disparaging Nolan Wells' mama, calling her a racist, calling her a race hustler, a grifter, when all the mama ever said was, I just want answers. The mama never assigned blame to anybody. The mama never said anybody did it. The mama even said she don't.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna do a whole show, and I'm gonna break down the list of all these different white supremacist groups that nobody talks about. None of these black conservatives ever talk about it. I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna break down what state they're from and what city they operate in. I'm gonna break all of that down in a live stream. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow or Saturday.
Thinks it's about race, but she can't ignore that component. Tatum called the mama all type of names. So D.L. Hughley is showing people Tatum is doing this because of this context, right? So take whatever he is saying and doing right now in this context as a black man with a white wife. So when he out here, is disparaging a black woman, when he's out here disparaging black folks, when he's out here working counter, right, for Nolan Wells justice, understand why he's doing it or understand who this man is. I think that was fair.
You are the lamest dude in all of comedy.
What is more lame than calling yourself the job you used to have? You're not an officer anymore. You were a football player who failed at being a football player. You didn't make the team, so you became an officer. That wasn't working out, so you became an influencer. You talked about emotion. What is more emotional than this?
The word. Look at how he was crying over Charlie Kirk. If Officer Tatum died, let's say Charlie Kirk was living and Officer Tatum passed away, do you think Charlie Kirk would shed a damn tear for Officer Tatum? I need you guys, let's really break this down. This dude is sick. He's pathetic. He's a disgrace of a black man. If Officer Tatum passed away and Charlie Kirk was living, do you think Charlie Kirk would shed a tear for Officer Tatum? Let's be real. Charlie Kirk wouldn't lose no sleep if Officer Tatum lost his life. He's sitting up here crying over a white boy that don't even give a damn about his black behind. Look at this phony ass fool. Oh, Charlie Kirk. Oh, Charlie Kirk, no. Oh, Mr. Charlie. Oh, Mr. Charlie. Mr. Charlie wouldn't shed one tear for you, dude.
You talked about emotion. What is more emotional than this?
The word.
You cried for a white dude who the people didn't even think you worthy to speak at his funeral. You said you wouldn't cry, so you became an officer. That wasn't working out, so you became an influencer. You talked about emotion. What is more emotional than this?
The word.
You cried for a white dude who the people didn't even think you worthy to speak at his funeral. You said you wouldn't cry for your son, but you cried for him. That's not emotion? You talked up the way Benjamin Crump talks.
Just want to blame white folks. And so I go out there because I know that lame Al Sharpton and Mr. I can't read Benjamin Crump is just race hustling, y'all.
You talked about how those boys are innocent. You had proof. Now, I don't know whether they're innocent or not. I don't know what happened there. But I know one conversation with a failed football player and a social media influencer is not the predicate. You don't have any toxicology report. You don't have an autopsy report. You talked about black people acting a fool.
This is why Angry Man, black people, I swear, Angry Man gave Officer Tatum props. Let me show you how fake the Angry Man is. The only reason that Angry Man mentions it, only reason that he mentions Officer Tatum is because Officer Tatum has a large platform and his platform is pretty damn successful. If Officer Tatum wasn't getting the views that he gets, Angry Man would never say his name. So it shows how much of a tap dancing Stephen from Django that he is himself. When you were black, as a black man, if you was a black man, go out of your way to big up Officer Tatum or Anton Daniels, then we already know what time it is. Straight pathetic. I've never seen so many pathetic black men in my life. It's getting worse. Angry Man will bend over and take it up to you know what for white validation and money. The angry man will sell his behind to get validation and money from white people. The same for Officer Tatum, the same for Tampon Daniels. I've never seen so many pathetic black men in my life. These guys are willing to do, they're willing to say anything for money and to appease white folks. The angry man, Officer Tatum and Anton Daniels, will take it up their backside for money and validation from white people, to get money and validation from white people. This is crazy.
Black people, what happened there? But I know one conversation with a failed football player and a social media influencer is not the predicate. You don't have any toxicology report. You don't have an autopsy report. You talked about black people acting a fool. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that took 31 years and 3 trials to prosecute and find guilty the murder of Medgar Evers. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that in 2005 found 215 black people that were dead and buried in a pauper's grave and nobody knew they were there. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that just killed a 1-year-old boy and nobody's being brought to account about. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that has been poisoning black people with the water since the 1960s. Black people didn't look for this fight. They want justice. All they want is accountability. And if it's those boys, it should be that. Nobody has a predetermined notion. I don't know what happened.
The older I get is when I realize common sense ain't common no more. Bruh, common sense ain't common, bruh. See, common sense would tell Officer Tatum why people are annoyed by his coverage.
Officer Tatum has common sense, but he's willing to throw common sense out of the window for money and validation from white tea people. That's the reality of it. Officer Tatum don't give a damn about what's right. He don't give a damn about accountability unless black people are involved. Then accountability is a big thing. But accountability don't apply to white folks. This is why Tatum never holds them accountable. Please believe it. But Officer Tatum has enough common sense to see what he's doing. The man ain't stupid. He's very strategic. He ain't stupid. He's doing this stuff for money. He knows if he talks like this, white people will boost him in the algorithm and he'll make a ton of money caping and defending white folks at all costs. He gets paid to do this. Don't for 1 second think that Officer Tatum ain't getting paid to defend white folks at all costs. So, of course, he's going to double down on it. Look at the Nolan Wells case. He is now blaming the black people. Well, I think it was the black people who was there. Why we keep blaming the white boys? You got to look at the black folks who was there. You can't just look at the white boys. Officer Tatum is worse than Steven from Django, for sure.
He somewhat don't seem to understand, which I think even that might be a play. He might be lying about him not understanding why black people are annoyed at his coverage. People are annoyed at Officer Tatum because Tatum started off his coverage not with, I don't know what happened, I'm gonna look into it. He started it all off with, there's no evidence of any foul play, y'all lying. And then he got cooked during the Stephen A. Smith debate, and then he slightly adjusted his stance to, well, I can't rule out foul, in a foul play either. I just don't think these white folks did it. And then as recent as today, his stance then elevated again to where he's saying he don't think Nolan Wells drowned and he think Nolan Wells was murdered. He just don't think he was killed by the friends on the boat. So you started off with there's no evidence of foul play to now there is foul play, but you still pretended like black folks was in the wrong. All we're saying is we don't know who did it, but like everybody is a suspect. And we're not ruling out any suspects.
A good question, Steffi. Shout out to my homegirl, Steffi. Steffi, I don't really know if he has a son, but if he does, then he's a horrible example for his son as a black man, if he does have a son, and that's a good question, Steffi. I wonder if Tatum has a son. Man, this is crazy.
Smith debate, and then he slightly adjusted his stance to, well, I can't rule out foul, in a foul play either. I just don't think these white folks did it. And then as recent as today, his stance then elevated again to where he's saying he don't think Nolan Wells drowned and he think Nolan Wells was murdered. He just don't think he was killed by the friends on the boat. So you started off with there's no evidence of foul play to now there is foul play, but you still pretended like black folks was in the wrong. All we're saying is we don't know who did it, but like everybody is a suspect, and we're not ruling out any suspects until somebody is apprehended and arrested. That's our stance. But Tatum comes out because, bro, he's so obsessed with trying to be, I don't know, like the savior for white folks. He's so obsessed trying like trying to put on that cape, right? He's willing to do whatever it takes to placate to white supremacists, which is why I think the first person they call is Officer Tatum, right? They could have gone to Nancy Grace. They could have gone to TMZ, which have been pretty neutral. TMZ have been neutral. They could have gone to TMZ. No, but they went to Officer Tatum because they understand Officer Tatum will do whatever it takes. He will lie. He will misconstrue the facts. He will leave things out. He will make edits like he did during the interviews with the friends to make sure that whatever can make these kids look guilty would never come out, opposed to going to somebody, right, with an unbiased lens. So they're not trying to contaminate, right, the interview or the evidence with their biased lens. Tatum didn't do that, right? So because Tatum have changed his stance multiple times, because Tatum continues to disrespect the family and Benjamin Crump, even though Tatum is the one who has changed his stance. Benjamin Crump from day one have says, foul play happened here. We don't know who did it, but we'll find our answers. And because of that, Tatum is calling Benjamin Crump a race hustler, while at the same time saying foul play happened, but it's wrong for us to suspect that the white kids did it. What's wrong with suspecting? Everybody is a suspect. But here's the problem. See, Tatum has a problem with us suspecting the white kids did it, but don't have a problem with us saying foul play happened. You know why? Because he wants to change it. He wants to redirect our focus to the 4 black folks that was on an island of 2,000 people. Less than 1/4 of 1% was black. He wants to direct our attention to them because he now wants to pass the blame to black folks. And he exposed his hand during his live stream.
2015 to 2024, about a 10-year period, 3,000 to 3,500 black Mississippians were killed by black offenders. This mother said 3 scenarios, didn't he? Make sure that's right. He gave 3 stories of alleged impropriety. That seemed like a high number, but he gave 3 stories of impropriety spanning over, I don't know, 30, 40 years. Just in 10 years, there's 3,000 to 3,500 black people killed by other black people. You tell me what, like when y'all talk about historical context, when you stupid, all that stuff makes sense to you.
Black murderers kill people they have access to. White murderers kill people they have access to. Asian murderers kill people they have access to. And because races usually live near their own, black people kill black people the highest. White people kill white people the highest. Asians kill Asian the highest. That has nothing to do, Tatum. Nothing,
right. And
at
this
all.
is how he tried to twist it. Well, since black people unalive each other the most, we got to look at the black folks that was on vacation. It's like he's gonna do any and everything to deflect, to take blame away from white people, and then somehow place the blame on black people. That's what he gets paid to do. None of that stuff that you said takes away from the fact that he was probably more than likely unalive by the people he was on vacation with. If they didn't do it, they was with somebody who did it. It's plain and simple. So his logic is, well, black folks are known to doing this to each other, and so are white people. So are white people. You know that white man that you was crying over, Officer Tatum? Who unalived that white man that you love so much? It was another white man. Yeah, Tatum. Did Officer Tatum make videos saying how violent white man was in this country when a white man unalived Charlie Kirk, the same white man that he was crying for? No, he never took the time to say that. No, he never made videos saying that. Just imagine what Officer Tatum would have said if a black man would have unalived Charlie Kirk. he would have put the whole black community on trial for what this one individual did. Somebody tell me I'm lying. Matter of fact, tell me I'm telling the truth, because you know I'm spitting facts. I'm going to say it again like the preacher man. If a black man unalived Charlie Kirk, you would never hear the end of it. Officer Tatum would have made several videos saying how violent and degenerate black culture is. That's exactly what he would have said if it was a black man who took out Charlie Kirk. A white man took out Charlie Kirk, and he had nothing to say about a white culture. He had nothing to say about white society. He said nothing. Absolutely nothing. He didn't put the white community on trial for that. What he didn't put the white community on trial when that white guy unalived Charlie Kirk. If a black man would have did it, the whole black community would have been on trial. He would have held the whole black community accountable for what one black man did to Charlie Kirk. And you can't tell me I'm lying. Lord Jesus.
To do with why black folks don't trust Mississippi. Mississippi has a history of victimizing black folks and having no accountability come with the victim access to. White murderers kill people they have access to. Asian murderers kill people they have access to. And because races usually live near their own, black people kill black people the highest. White people kill white people the highest. Asians kill Asian the highest. That has nothing to do, Tatum, nothing like at all to do with why black folks don't trust Mississippi. Mississippi has a history of victimizing black folks and having no accountability come with the victimization, right? Mississippi has a history of racism. Mississippi has a history of hating black folks. So, excuse me, black folks might be a little suspicious at Mississippi officials coming out a day after Nolan Walls died and says there has been no foul play. A decision that to this day, you all of a sudden disagree with after you got cooked during the Stephen A. Smith debate. So if you disagree and you believe that there was foul play in the Nolan Walls situation, then wouldn't that mean that the black folks who have been on this stance from day one was correct the entire time? See, Mississippi coming out, Ocean Springs coming out and saying, yo, Nolan Wells' death was no foul play. Y'all remember, they came out and said, no foul play. Day one, they was ready to sweep this under the rug. It took Benjamin Crump, Al Sharpton, and social media coming together to keep this investigation open. That's
Shout
what
out
DL
to Desmond Hill for the Cash App. I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to KJ. Shout out to Mr. KJ for the Cash App as well. Let's get at least 10 contributors for today's show. I appreciate everybody who's been supporting so far. You guys are highly appreciated. Yeah, like I said, Officer Tatum would have put the whole black community on trial. If Charlie Kirk got unalived by a black man, you would never hear the end of it. All black culture is degenerate. All black folks are violent. All black people hate white folks. Oh, you would never hear the end of it.
Hughley is talking about. See, but here's where Tatum makes a mistake, okay? Tatum reveals his hand. Like, all that passive, right? I'm not a racist. I'm just a black conservative who love every man. All that, like, passive stuff goes out the window. Now he reveals his true feelings. Watch how he talks about black folks.
So if you want to play the historical injustice math, it's fair to believe that a black man is killed, could be killed by another black man. How you know the black kids that were out there with Nolan had nothing to do with it? Statistically, historically.
Listen, watch Officer Tatum shift blame to black people. Far as we know, the black people out there could have unalived Nolan. You can't just blame white folks. It's wrong to blame white folks. For all we know, the black kids could have been the ones that unalived Nolan. You got to look at the black kids. You can't just be blaming white folks.
So if you want to play the historical injustice math, it's fair to believe that a black man is killed, could be killed by another black man. How you know the black kids that were out there with Nolan had nothing to do with it? Statistically, historically, it's more likely that he'll be killed by a black person. Ignorant, y'all Negroes, ignorant. I'm tired of being nice to y'all. I hope I don't get in trouble with certain people, but I'm tired of being nice to y'all. I'm sick of y'all low vibration, ignorant Negroes. And y'all stupid on every level. And disproportionately, black people come across as stupider than anybody else, disproportionately.
You can't even get offended at somebody like Tatum disrespecting. Come on, bro. Like, it's Tatum, bro. It's Tatum. Nobody takes Tatum seriously, bro. Tatum is a tap dancer. Tatum will say whatever he got to say, okay, to please white folks. But now he's saying his true feelings. The reason why he kept bringing up, well, there was more people on the island, even though that was not important, because, like, wouldn't more people on the island and Nolan disappearing with 2,000, like, wouldn't that actually prove there's foul play? Because who just disappears on an island of 2,000 people with nobody seeing anything? Now that's out the window now. Now that's out the window. Now Tatum is saying, well, why you're not looking at those black kids? Like, the 4 black kids on an island of 2,000 people, why you're not looking at the black kids? This was his plan all along. See, Tatum, all of a sudden, as lately as like this week, began to adopt the stance there was foul play done. And the reason why he was adopting the stance of foul play was because he wanted to co-opt the movement, take over.
So now he's trying to shift blame to the black. You need to start investigating them black kids. Y'all need to be investigating them black kids. Quit trying to blame the white folks for everything. Man, this dude is worse than Steven from Django. I promise you.
Right? He wanted people who believes there was foul play to come over to his side. And then he was going to drag them all the way over to the left side of the aisle and eventually begin to propose the fact that it was Nolan Wall's black friends that killed him, not the white boys.
Oh, man.
I told y'all. Now, Tatum believes that black folks are dumber than any other race. That's what he just said. Black folks are stupider than any other race, according to Officer Tatum. This is a black man saying this. Yo, some of you guys are so hypnotized by white dollars, y'all are ready to sell y'all butt and your morality and your integrity.
Officer Tatum and Angry Man will sell their butt to white people to get money. They will. Angry Man and Officer Tatum got to add in Tampon Daniels. They will sell their butt for white validation and money. I promise you they would. That's crazy, but salute to Poetic FLAKO for exposing that, because I've been saying this for a long time.
Dumber than any other race. That's what he just said. Black folks are stupider than any other race, according to Officer Tatum. This is a black man saying this. Yo, some of you guys are so hypnotized by white dollars, y'all are ready to sell y'all butt.
Yeah.
And your morality and your integrity. Bro, how can you sell your soul in this fashion, homie? I know your wife is white, but them kids is black. You got black kids, bro. And you are willing to sell your soul. Yo, imagine what your black kids would think of you when they turn on this TV or turn on YouTube in let's say 5 years. They turn on YouTube in 5 years when they again, I don't know how old this kids. Let's just say they turn on YouTube when their kids about 14 years old, right? When they start to get into their consciousness. They turn on YouTube and they see their father calling people who look like them stupid and claiming that those people, all right, are disproportionately dumber or stupider than any other race. Let me explain what he means by disproportionately, okay? He means, for example, if there's 50 million black people, we got a higher percent of stupid people than anybody else. So, for example, if there's 60 million...
Shout out to Steffi. I appreciate you, Steffi, for the cash app. You always showing love, baby. Much love and support. Much love for the support. Shout out to the brothers and sisters for supporting this platform. I appreciate you all.
Black folks, and let's just say 20 million in his world is dumb. 30%. He's saying no other race has 30% of people who are dumb. I'm not even gonna go in how I'm supposed to go in, because you know what, bruh? It's not about any other race, all right? But there's almost impeccable metric to to prove we ain't the dumbest now. We ain't the. But okay.
Social media influencer who failed at football and was a mediocre cop all of a sudden knows more than that. I don't know what happened. You don't know what happened. But I do know this. You said that a young woman with a pot of water acted so suspiciously that she should be shot by cops.
I think that this is justified, but it could have been avoided, but still justified. You can't throw boiling water on a police officer and not get shot.
But you don't think people that were on a boat with somebody in the proximity of somebody and that person come that day acting so suspicious they should be questioned?
Hold on. They were questioned, Stu Head. They talked to the police. This is why y'all ain't never gonna make it in life, man. This is why these people ain't never gonna make it, bro. I like the only reason I don't totally think black people are completely a lost cause because I grew up around black people. I got black people in my family whom I love. So I have experience with black people who are not completely retarded. But when you look at these people, and I see why white people are sick of y'all. Because if you ain't never met reasonable white people, I mean black people, and you listen to these fools all day, you gotta think black people has gotta be the dumbest people on planet Earth. You have to be biased looking at the stupidity. You got you think a woman who throwing a hot boiling water on somebody should get shot. That's called deadly force. I don't think she should get shot because she's black. I think she gets shot because it's according to the law. If you're in fear of serious bodily injury or death, which boiling water can cause, then a cop can shoot you.
So he just justified, you know, I forget her name. People, hey man, please forgive me for forgetting the sister name that had the water. He said she deserved to get shot because by law it's justified, right? So he believed that the white man shooting her in her house, in her kitchen, was justified. Tatum said it was justified, man. You know,
you got you think a woman who throwing a hot boiling water on somebody should get shot. That's called deadly force. I don't think she should get shot because she's black. I think she gets shot because it's according to the law. If you're in fear of serious bodily injury or death, which boiling water can cause, then
shout
a cop
out
can
to Sonya Macy. Rest in peace to Sonya Macy. She did not deserve to get shot, bro. I don't care what you say. That woman did not deserve to be shot. Hell no. But in the words of Officer Tatum, she deserved to get shot by law. She deserved to get shot. Words of Officer Tatum. This dude right here is worse than Steven from Django. I promise you. If you listen, I wonder what Officer Tatum would say if you asked him, do you feel that OJ was guilty? I mean, he was found not guilty by the court of law. By law, he was found not guilty. I wonder what he would say about OJ Simpson, even though OJ was found not guilty. What would Officer Tatum say? Do you believe that OJ was guilty? Man, I believe OJ was guilty. White folks should have executed him. OJ should have spent the rest of his life in prison for harming that white woman.
I think she gets shot because if you ain't never met reasonable white people, I mean black people, and you listen to these fools all day, you gotta think black people has gotta be the dumbest people on planet Earth. You have to be biased looking at the stupidity. You got you think a woman who throwing a hot boiling water on somebody should get shot. That's called deadly force. I don't think she should get shot because she's black. I think she gets shot because it's according to the law. If you're in fear of serious bodily injury or death, which boiling water can cause, then a cop can shoot you. And the only reason this cop got in trouble because he white. And they want to make an example out of this cop. And he was a stewhead by the stuff he said before he ended up having the shooter, which put him in a position where they will argue that he instigated it. But she threw boiling water at the cops. Go throw boiling water at cops today and see if you don't get smoked and they let you off.
Sonya Massey never threw the water, by the way. You see what I mean when I say, Tatum just lies? Like he just lies. He's just a liar. She never threw the water, right? Cyan Massey was on the couch talking to the officers because, you know, they came into their home because she called them. She was on the couch talking to them. They look at the stove and see a pot on the stove and says, yo, go ahead and turn that off so, you know, things don't burn. She goes, turn off the stove, take the pot of water, lifts it up, right? And puts it, lifts it up and then put it down, right? Right, like on the other stove. She was now trying to move the pot of water to the sink, I believe, right? Now, again, this lady is mentally ill. That's why she called them. She began to rebuke him. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Now, I don't know what, she obviously seen something. She obviously seen these devils was in her house to murder her, right? So as she's saying, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, she lifts up the pot to put it in the sink and they shoot and kill her while calling her the B word. No water touched them at all. At all. Now, the officer got 20 years. Tatum said the officer did nothing wrong. But now y'all see how Tatum feel about us, and now y'all see his real intentions in covering this Nolan Wells case. It was always to deflect the blame to those innocent black, well, I'll be real, right? I'll be real, all right? Tristan is half black. We gotta watch Tristan. Tristan, he's a nefarious character to me. Tristan is the black friend that Tatum interviewed, where he started talking about how his white side have always done more for him than the black side, how Benjamin Crump is a race hustler, just all type of nonsense, bro. So maybe you gotta look at Tristan. I don't know, okay? But man, them black kids is less than a fourth of a 1% of the people on that island, bro. Leave them out of this. Let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this, okay? If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video.
This is sad, bro. It's sad when you're willing to go out of your way.
Right? That's not all the way that he heard. So here is Officer Tatum.
Officer Tatum is so ridiculous that he said, we need to start looking at the black kids that was there. It was black kids too. We need to start investigating them. Maybe the black kid has something to do with Nolan death. You just want to blame it on the white kids.
Trying to run PR and narrative and try to make us believe that we ain't hear what we heard. Let's go.
No, it's full of crap. And before we get to any of that, we're going to talk about all that. Before we get to all of that, we're going to talk about new updates in the Nolan Wells case, the phone call that everybody been asking me to review. I've had an opportunity to review it as much as I can. We had some contact from the family, and also TMZ did an incredible job at explaining what that really was all about. We'll get to it.
Bro, we just heard the explanation from TMZ. Did TMZ do, after what we just watched, did TMZ do an incredible job? Or did TMZ acknowledge that they heard exactly what we heard? Oh my God, Nolan, no, he's dead. But TMZ says we should not listen to our ears. Maybe we're just hearing it wrong. We hear a thing wrong because y'all heard the same thing we heard.
Now that the audio is out there, they're going to tell us you didn't hear what you heard. Your mind is playing tricks on you. Your mind is playing tricks on you. You didn't really hear what you just heard on that audio. No.
Oh, here is Tatum acknowledging that the audio is real, but he's gonna try to in real time make you believe that you're not hearing what you're hearing.
Put on the Officer Tatum show.
I want everybody in this room to have that same spirit.
If you're just starting, just go and check it out. See if it's something you're interested in. I'm gonna say more in a written form about bugging my team. Let's get into this. Let's do this. Let's make it happen. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody was saying, B. Tatum, what do you think about the audio? What do you think about the audio? What do you think about this newfound audio? First and foremost, and I may have alluded to this before we went to the weekend, but when I first heard it, I turned the volume up as loud as I could, and I didn't hear none of that stuff they were saying. And then
I bet, hey Tatum, I bet you ain't hear it. I bet you're the only person in America who ain't hear that audio. I bet, right? I bet you ain't hear it, right? But I thought it was fake though. I thought it was AI. Now as you ain't hear it, okay, bet.
First and foremost, and I may have alluded to this before we went to the weekend, but when I first heard it, I turned the volume up as loud as I could. I didn't hear none of that stuff they were saying. And then I know the context around when the call occurred, and therefore I perceived, based on the knowledge that I have, the witness testimony, and also looking into it myself, that the conversation that they said couldn't have happened. And it doesn't make sense that it had happened because obviously Nolan was not on the boat during this situation. And if he was on the boat during this situation and there was an altercation that happened, everybody and their mama.
So you peep how they don't explain the audio. They just do not. They see, we got to start being as bad faith as these people, right? Our downside, yo. Look, I'm about to make somebody a mod. Y'all boot Mark Oliver from the chat if he's being disruptive. See, their strategy is to just deny. Trump is really great at this, right? Trump was asked, hey, President Trump, did you arrange for Andrew Tate to leave Romania and come to America? Nah, I don't know. What? Oh, really? Man, he's here? I know nothing about it. And come to find out, Trump and his administration literally called Romania, let them know, they want Tate in America. And for Romania to uplift Tate's travel ban, right? But Trump denied it in real time. I don't know what's going on. So now the new strategy is to just deny. That's their strategy. Just deny it all. Deny it completely. But we're not letting you guys do it. We're not letting you guys get away with this, man. No, under no circumstances, bro. You're gonna be forced. You're gonna be forced to acknowledge this audio, bro. You're gonna be forced to acknowledge it. We're not letting you guys get away with it. We're not answering any other questions y'all have from us. Because whenever we have a question for y'all, is always, what? We don't know. That never happened. Nah. Millions of people heard that same audio, and millions of people said, we heard this too. So just because a few tap dancers ain't hear it and a few white supremacists ain't hear it does not mean y'all about to get to skate by and then quickly pivot a conversation. You peep how they get our evidence for wrongdoing and foul play. Then they quickly pivot from, nah, that's not true. And then they quickly pivot to, how about this? We're not addressing whatever type of skill out of context, photos or whatever you guys, we're not addressing that. Address the audio first. Address why they were saying, oh my God, Nolan. Address why they were saying he's dead. Address why they were saying, get up. Address why bro refused to answer the question when she asked, are there any, is everybody alive on the boat? Are there any alive adults on the boat? Answer that. Answer that.
Right there at Horn, Nolan was not on the boat during this situation. And if he was on the boat during this situation and there was an altercation that happened, everybody and their mama would have seen it because they're right there at Horn Island.
I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry, brother. The what ifs, right? We played what ifs with y'all for the last 2 weeks. We played what ifs with y'all. That audio has released, bruh. We not playing what ifs no more with y'all, bruh. We not playing what ifs with y'all. I understand the what ifs. We not playing the what ifs with y'all, bruh. Sorry. We not doing why would that audio say that if the audio said it? So now explain why it said it. Why would the audio say this if they were, the audio did say it. So you explain why the audio said it. Sorry. We're not doing it what ifs. It's not happening. We're not doing it.
And thousands of people would have seen it because they're right there at Horn Island with 100 boats and thousands of people right there. But because people have a vested interest and confirmation bias, that no matter if Jesus Christ of Nazareth came out of the sky and said, these boys had nothing to do with Nolan's death, people will reject Christ Jesus and stop believing in him because they're invested in believing these kids must have done something. Now, I'm not saying if they did or didn't. I'm saying the evidence is showing that they were nowhere near Nolan when his life was taken, whether it's a drowning or.
Oh, my God. In so many words, you're saying they didn't do it. Now, first he said, I can't say that they did or didn't do it. I'm just being honest. Then he goes on to say, well, if you want to get technical, them white boys wasn't nowhere around Nolan when he came up missing. They was nowhere around Nolan when he died.
Whether somebody killed him, confirmation bias. That no matter if Jesus Christ of Nazareth came out of the sky and said these boys had nothing to do with Nolan's death, people will reject Christ Jesus and stop believing in him because they're invested in believing these kids must have done something. Now, I'm not saying if they did or didn't. I'm saying the evidence is showing that they were nowhere near Nolan when his life was taken. Whether it's a drowning or whether somebody killed him, these kids.
How he has softened up his stance, people. Yo, now understand this, how he has softened up his stance. That right there that's the tell-all sign you need. Bro, we put in belt to butt. We have not softened our stance not once. We haven't gone from, oh my God, Nolan Walls was murdered to, oh my God, Nolan Walls accidentally drowned. We haven't softened our stance not once. From day one, something nefarious and bad happened to Nolan Wells. Somebody did something to Nolan. We haven't softened our stance. As a matter of fact, every piece of evidence that have came out have only made our assertions stronger. Every single piece of evidence that have came out, every explanation of what happened that have came out, have only made our confidence grow in our beliefs. But when it comes to the other side, when it comes to the white supremacists and Officer Tatum, how come y'all continue to soften y'all stance? It went from, man, there's nothing here. There's nothing that shows foul play. There's nothing that shows foul play. What are you talking about? It's gone from there's nothing that shows foul play to, man, listen, man, I'm not saying they didn't kill him. I'm just saying these white folks didn't kill him. Huh? Oh, that's how far y'all have gotten pushed back? The bell got y'all pushing back down.
Black folks. I ain't finna let black folks put this on white people. Hell no, I'm not finna let white people get held accountable. You're wrong for trying to hold those white folks accountable. Maybe those black, you need to be investigating those black kids. Quit trying to put this off on those white kids. What I'm not going to let you do is Officer Tatum is hold white folks accountable. I ain't going to let you hold white people accountable. You need to be looking at those black kids. You need to put those black kids under investigation. That's what y'all need to be doing. Mm-hmm.
That much? It's foul play. There's nothing that shows foul play. What are you talking about? It's gone from there's nothing that shows foul play to, man, listen, man, I'm not saying they didn't kill him. I'm just saying these white folks didn't kill him. Huh? Oh, that's how far y'all have gotten pushed back? The bell got y'all pushing back that much? It's gone from there's nothing here that's a just foul play to, I'm not saying he wasn't killed or something. No, I'm saying these good white folks didn't kill him. He had black friends on the island too. He had some black folks on the island too. What y'all mean though? No. Shut up. You know the raccoon chip is activating when you see this. Come on, bro. Come on. This right here is how you know the raccoon chip has been activated. I'm not lying. When you see this, listen, go to any one of Officer Tatum's videos, okay? Go to any one of Officer Tatum's videos. I ain't lying. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. This is how you know the raccoon chip has officially been activated. When you see him do this, it's just like a raccoon. It's just like a raccoon. Yo, listen, bro. Have you seen a raccoon jump? Look, watch this, man. Raccoons, come on, bro. Finn, come on, son. Come on, son. You can't tell me. Come on, son. Hey, bro, you can't tell me. Man. Hey, come on, son. Come on, son. Come on, son. You can't, listen, man. You can't tell me the raccoon chip has not activated at this point right here, man. This brother is working, okay? This brother said, y'all would not blame these good white folks, man. Y'all would not, under no circumstances, blame these good white folks on my watch. Not on my watch. Y'all would not blame these good white folks who have done all these good white things. Y'all would not blame these good white folks on my watch. Under no circumstances. I said, man. This brother is activated. Now he's in full action right now, man. Sir, relax, man. Brother, black man to black man, bro, you don't have to do this, sir. Black man to black man, Tatum, you do not have to do this, man. There's enough money in the world, bro, where you can come online, man, simply do your content. You don't got to do this, man. This is nasty work, bro.
We're not there. How about we focused on other leads so we can figure out what happened? Because somebody may have been involved in it.
Now he backpedaling. Now he backpedaling, bro. Listen, the backpedal started during the Stephen A. Smith debate. See, before that Stephen A. Smith debate, when Tatum was in the comfort of his den where the raccoons reside, when he was in the comfort of his den, he was spilling the white supremacist talking points. But when he encountered a brother who's intelligent, a brother who knew the facts, a brother who refused to allow him to lie on Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump, he says that Al Sharpton said the white kids murdered Nolan Wells. The brother put up the receipts, had Tatum tap dancing. But he may not have said it outright. He may have Then after that debate, after he got cooked to high heavens, y'all watched the debate. We watched it together. It was raccoon meat on the grill. We watched it together. The raccoon meat was on the grill. I'm not lying. Y'all watched it in real time. Once the raccoon meat went on the grill, now Tatum all of a sudden there was 4 to 5 black folks on the island, so how can we say the white folks did it, the black folks, man? Tatum, really, bruh? Even when there's a fourth of a 1%, even when there's a fourth of a 1%, y'all still want to blame black man. Black folks ain't got nothing to do with this, bruh. A black man ain't murdered Nolan Wells, man. Y'all cut it out, bruh. But now his stance have went from, man, there's no evidence for anything nefarious.
Right. It's like he said, there's no evidence for anything nefarious. The first thing that Officer Tatum said, man, there was no foul play. There's no foul play. Now he's saying, well, there was foul play, and you need to start looking at them black people. You can't just blame the white boys. You need to be looking into them black boys that was out there. Maybe them black boys had something to do with it. But you said there was no foul play involved. Now, later on down the line, you're admitting that there was foul play involved, and now somehow now we must look into the black people who was there because maybe they had something to do with it. But first you said there was no foul play. Leave it out of there. Nothing happened to them. There was no foul play involved. Now he's saying we need to be investigating the black kids over there. Man, this is crazy.
Now let's trace these other clues over here. What? I thought there was no clues. I thought there was no evidence. I thought there was no suspects. I thought Nolan Wells accidentally drowned. I thought that was what it was, huh? Now y'all backpedaling. There's only one side that have not backpedaled, not once. We ain't backpedaled. We've been called race hustlers and rape grifters and liars from day one. We ain't backpedaled an inch. We ain't take an inch. And we've been called race hustlers and grifters from day one. We ain't backpedaled not an inch. Not once. But they doing backpedalings. Why? It's because the facts don't support their theory. Every single detail that has came out do not support their theory at all. Not one bit.
We're looking in the wrong direction. More than likely, nobody was involved in it, but we shall see. All right, let's get to the TMZ debunking the audio that was put out and people doing enhancements. We got a whole segment here. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to go methodically through each individual step. We're going to play TMZ's thing. We're going to play the enhanced audio. We're going to play the woman who enhanced the audio. And then we're going to listen to the full audio, us, so y'all can hear exactly what is being said in its entirety, full context. And I promise you, it's going to shock you that some of the things that's said on there, you got to wonder, the people that's highlighting certain moments, why didn't they put the rest of it in there? Why did they copy and paste these segments?
Shout out to Aldre, man. I appreciate you, Aldre, for the Cash App, man. Shout out to you, Aldre. You've been supporting the platform for a minute. Much love to you, my brother. salute, and shout out to all of my supporters. Let's get back to it. Man, you can't blame them white folks. You need to be investigating them black kids. Maybe the black kids had something to do with it. I'm tired of y'all blaming white folks. What I'm not going to let you do is hold white folks accountable. I ain't going to let you just hold white folks accountable. You need to be looking into them black kids because them black kids was on that island too.
You will find out here shortly. Here's the TMZ, a new update from TMZ. The young lady is reporting on it. Roll it.
Here with another development in the Nolan Wells case, TMZ has learned evidence apparently shows Nolan Wells was still on Horn Island after his friend's boat left.
Yo, listen to this as well. Yo, listen to this, yo. Yo, do y'all peep, yo, how it's always the evidence show. And the evidence, when you read the fine print, because I read exactly what this article says, by the way. I read the entire article. I went through everything. And at the very bottom, after saying the evidence, I said, okay, what's the evidence? Somebody told us. I said, cuh. I said, cuh. I said, yo, you want the eye, man? Really? Really? Come on, bruh. Really? Really? So again, when y'all hear, all right, when y'all hear, right? When y'all hear evidence, understand the evidence is one individual told TMZ that they seen Nolan Wells on the island. That's it. But here's the thing. That's not new. Okay? All right? We are taking a combination, right? A combination of everybody's statements. Nolan Wells' friends, Katie, we're taking everything into consideration. And what I'm telling you is, after everything, is too many contradictions going on. Nolan Wells' friend says, hey, we left him on the island when he was cradled up with Katie. Katie says the last time I seen him was when the friends was calling him over, implying he left and went with the friends. So if we have multiple statements saying multiple different things, then how is quote unquote evidence somebody told y'all they seen Nolan on the island? Are you crazy?
No, you know what? I'm going to tell black folks straight up like this. I'm going to sit up there and tell black folks straight up like this. What I'm not going to let you do on my watch here, you is not going to be holding white folks accountable. I ain't going to let you do that on my watch. You need to be looking into them black kids that was on the island. I ain't finna sit up there and let black people hold white folks accountable. You ain't gonna hold white people accountable for nothing on my damn watch. Hell no. I ain't finna let black folks hold white people accountable for nothing. Not if I got something to do with it. I don't hold white folks accountable, and neither would you. You ain't gonna do it on my watch. Officer Tatum said, hell no, you ain't finna hold white folks accountable on his watch.
But they will tell you, oh, TMZ is the arbitrator for what's true or not. Us independent media personalities, we ain't ish. TMZ is the arbitrator for what's fair and what's not fair. But us independent media personalities, we ain't ish. But look at this nonsense.
Sources with direct knowledge.
We already knew this. Warren and Tristan already said this. But y'all were, not y'all that's listening, y'all smart. I'm talking about your cousin them.
But how would Tristan know where Nolan was, right? How would Tristan know that Nolan was on an island after 4:30 when Tristan left the island before anybody? For you guys, because we're done answering y'all questions. We spent the last 2 weeks debunking, and every time we debunk one lie, y'all come up with another lie. When we debunk one lie, you'll come with another lie. So how can Tristan tell you that Nolan Wells was on the island past 5 p.m. or at nighttime when Tristan got into a fight, according to Tristan himself and everybody else, and he left the island early before anyone else? So how? And Warren told you that they was calling Nolan over to the boat. Nolan says he's not going, he's not leaving, he's not going, right? And Warren says that Katie will be their alibi, and Katie can confirm. But when Katie confirmed, Katie says the last time I seen Nolan was when y'all was calling him over. implying he went over to the boat and left Katie. Katie says Nolan told her that he was going with his friends. That's what Katie's sister have said. That's what Katie's family has said. That's what Katie have told Nolan's family. So again, even your very quote unquote proof that this happened is debunked because the person who quote unquote can verify this happened is telling us something completely opposite.
Defiant and saying these boys are lying and all this other stuff. And then now TMZ is reporting on it. Maybe you'll listen. Roll it.
Tell TMZ authorities have evidence suggesting Nolan was on the Mississippi barrier island after the boat departed on the 4th of July, which would mark a major development in the investigation. We're told at least 2 witnesses interviewed by law enforcement claimed they saw Nolan on the island after the boat headed back to the mainland.
So their evidence are 2 people. Okay, cool. How about the multiple other people? How about Nolan friends who says that they drove by and they seen
One
them
thing I
cleaning?
can say for Poetic FLAKO, a lot of people don't like FLAKO goes hard for black people, right? So my thing is this, brothers. I'm a foundational black American, but I got love for black people as a whole, right? As long as they're on code and they're rocking and they're standing on blackness, I don't care if you're African, Jamaican, Haitian, or whatever. If you rocking with black people and you stand on business, and I rock with you. You rock with me, then I rock with you. One thing I can say about Poetic FLAKO is he will stand on black business. He has a large platform and he uses his platform and he stands on black business. So when it all boils down to it, I gotta salute Poetic FLAKO. Regardless, you might disagree with him on a few things, but ultimately he's gonna stand on black business. The man has a large platform. A lot of these black men with large platforms, they sell out. Angry Man is a complete sellout, straight buster. Tampon Daniels, sellout, straight buster. Officer Tatum, sellout, straight buster. And a long list of others. Poetic FLAKO could have easily sold out and start doing the same thing that Angry Man, Tampon Daniels, and Officer Tap Dance is doing. Poetic FLAKO uses his platform to stand on black business. That's what I can respect. Let's get back to the content, though.
Verified this happened is telling us something completely opposite.
Defiant and saying these boys are lying and all this other stuff. And then now TMZ is reporting on it. Maybe you'll listen. Roll it.
Tell TMZ authorities have evidence suggesting Nolan was on the Mississippi barrier island after the boat departed on the 4th of July, which would mark a major development in the investigation. We're told at least 2 witnesses interviewed by law enforcement claimed they saw Nolan on the island after the boat headed back to the mainland.
So their evidence are 2 people. Okay, cool. How about the multiple other people? How about Nolan friends who says that they drove by and they seen them cleaning out the boat the night that Nolan died? How about that? How about that? How about that? Nolan's friends who says they seen the boys at lunch and the boys told them they were not out searching for Nolan because y'all already gonna blame them for killing him before he was even found dead. How about that? Do we take the word of those people too? Because my thing is, if we taking the word as for anybody as fact, right? If we're saying anybody who comes forward, their word is law and their word is fact, then boy, we got an entire interview of Nolan friends saying somebody killed Nolan and those people are close by in that community. See, bro, we can play the tit for tat all day. You bring 2, we bring 2. You bring 1, we bring 1. All right? You bring 1 witness, we bring 1 witness. But at the end of the day, all right, we could play the he said, she said game all day. Nolan friends did a 3-hour interview on TikTok, on YouTube, where they broke down things that completely contradicts this. Completely. 1,000%. All right? So now let's get to this next part, man, where right, like apparently like he listens to the audio.
Still on Horn Island. Friends had confirmed it. We already confirmed it. We already interviewed Warren.
You ain't confirm I got that thing,
Tracy.
Tatum.
They already showed me evidence of this. They already showed me video. They showed me all kinds.
They didn't show you, fam, listen, yo, Tatum, why do you lie so much? Do you understand that if there was evidence, that if they had videos of Nolan Wells on the island at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or 8 p.m., then that would be public? What are you talking about? What video? What video? What video? The boat stopped working at 3 p.m. They quote unquote left a little after 4:30 or after 4:30. So there was ruckus and commotion on that boat for about what, an hour and 45 minutes? So if there was commotion on that boat for about an hour and 45 minutes, we're not saying they killed him. We're not saying they dumped him in the water. I'm just saying whatever photograph you have of them sailing off does not debunk the theory that they may have dumped Nolan Wells in the water after killing him or after something happened to Nolan. Maybe again, Nolan passed out. He was unconscious. They panicked. They threw him over. Who knows what it was? We don't know. We don't know the facts. What we're telling you is that everything that have came out so far have hinted towards foul play happening. Somebody killed Nolan. Nolan didn't die from quote unquote accidental drowning. And all the facts that have came out have supported our theory over yours.
True
It's
story.
simple as that.
Kinds of stuff that they have already given over to the police department. And so I told you guys, and I'm not saying I told you so or nothing like that. I'm just saying this should give credence to what I'm doing because we already shared
Shout out
this
to
with you.
Yes Sir for the cash out, man. I appreciate you, Yes Sir. I'm gonna have to mod you up, man, because you've been rocking with your boy. So I'm gonna have to mod you up. Like, to all my loyal supporters, man, if I haven't modded you up, that's my bad. And if you want to get modded up, have no problem. I appreciate you guys for supporting my platform. You guys are highly appreciated. I appreciate you way more than I appreciate you guys way more than you know. Much love to you all, man. Like I said, I'm gonna do a show. I'm gonna dedicate a whole show to my loyal subscribers and people that's been holding me down through the thick of this nonsense. So I appreciate you guys. I got to take my hat out to the real ones out there, man. Salute to Yes Sir. Shout out to Steffi, Desmond Hill, SR Serum. And, you know, I don't want to forget nobody. I'm going to say shout out to all of my loyal supporters. So shout out to Scoop. You already know Scoop in the building. You already know. So we got to dedicate a whole show to my loyal subscribers that's been holding me down.
You guys, and TMZ just confirmed it. Can you please stop projecting things into this case that do not exist because you're not doing Nolan any favors? You're just distracting and creating chaos that should have never happened. All right, let's get to the next clip. Now, here's the enhanced audio because I want to go through, and we're going to go in through this whole thing, and we're going to debunk, provide more context, information that most people are not trying to do at all. Now, I listened to this myself, and we got the young lady who claimed to enhance the video. We're going to play her testimony on here. But this is bullcrap. It's bullcrap.
Yo, listen, yo. How when I play the audio, I didn't really need to preface it. I didn't need to contaminate the audio with my bias lens. How all I did was I just played the audio for you guys and y'all heard it. Why is Tatum now trying to contaminate the audio before playing it? Why not just play the audio and let your audience decide what they want to decide? Come on, huh? Why are you trying to contaminate the evidence with your biased lens? Now watch this, man.
For two reasons. One is that when I listened to the audio, I didn't hear none of this stuff that you see on this thing. None. I didn't hear nothing.
Calm down, bro. Calm down, bro. Calm down, Tatum. Tatum, bro. Tatum, you're doing it again, Tatum. You are doing it again, Tatum. All right? All right? The raccoon chip is activated. The raccoon chip has activated again, Tatum. Tatum, calm down, bro. Calm down, bro. Just play the evidence, man. Why are you activating, man? We just, come on, Tatum. Sir, Tatum, stop it, bro. Stop. Tatum, stop it. Stop doing it. This is it. Tatum, go seek help. Right? 1-800, I got the raccoon chip. Okay, 1-800, I got the raccoon chip. Tatum, stop. Right? Stop. You can do better, Tatum. You can do better, Tatum. You don't have to do this. Control yourself, sir. Yo, just the thought of white folks being held accountable, man, got Tatum activated. This is just disgusting. Trifling stuff, man.
Thing of the nature. And then when you have context, you realize none of this could have been said because Nolan was still alive.
What? Man, listen, bro. Play the audio, bro. Play the audio. Play the audio, Tatum. All right? Play the audio, bro.
Now, after they made this phone call, y'all got to stop playing and just
the audio,
be honest
Tatum.
for a change. Roll the clip.
So Tatum, no. Tatum, don't play the in his version. Tatum. Yo, but Tatum, you cold, bro. Tatum, this ain't the enhanced version, man. This ain't the version we played. But you can still listen, bro. You can still listen to the version like this that's not all the way that enhanced. All right? That's not all the way that enhanced. And you could still hear it. Yo, Tatum, I wanted to wait, bro. Hold on, bro. Tatum, this is some nasty stuff, bro. Tatum, why you ain't slowing down like us? Why you ain't up the volume like us?
Hey man, if anybody wanna hit the link, I'm gonna drop the link, man, and see if anybody wanna add to this, because this is ridiculous, bro. This level of Samboism and coonery is at an all-time high. This is Samboism, top flight coonery, top flight buffoonery coming from Officer Tap Dance. My goodness, this is ridiculous. Hit the like button if you haven't already. You are welcome to hit the link.
Why you ain't play the enhanced version that slowed down? Huh? This is some nasty stuff. This is nasty, bro.
Here, time out. I started over. I want to give you guys a chance to turn your audio up, get into a place where you can hear, freeze this, pause it, or whatever you got to do. Turn your audio up and be honest about what you hear. And do you hear things like,
I just turned up our audio, right? I just turned up our audio as well because Tatum ain't playing the right version.
cover it up as if they're saying cover up a murder? Yeah, I thought about that. Maybe they're talking about the hole in the boat. What they call the billage?
Right there. Really? Okay. So Tatum goes from, they didn't say, can we cover it up at all? They didn't say that at all. They lying. How you go from, those words were never said, y'all lying, to, nah, man, the words were said, but the words that was said actually meant this. Hold on. I thought okay. So first off, y'all have went from in the last 24 hours to the audio is fake. It's to, no, the audio is real, but they didn't say what they said. Now, nah, they said it. I heard, can we cover it up? But that just meant something different, man. Y'all, man, bruh. Hey, man, y'all out of control, man. Y'all is out of control, sir. Y'all gotta do better, man. Y'all are out of control. This is nasty stuff, Tatum. This is not normal.
Maybe they're talking about the hole in the boat. What they call the billage port or something like that? Bilge pump. So maybe they're talking about the bilge pump.
Oh, I bet.
Maybe they're saying to cover that up. But no, y'all gotta say somebody killing somebody in Nolan Wells' death.
Amazing.
Roll it and tell me, do you hear any of these things in the comment section that you see on the screen right here? Roll it.
Amazing. Look at, look at this devious raccoon, man. Look at this. Bro, listen, bro really think that he's smarter than everybody else. Look at this.
All these Sambos think that. You notice that these Sambos think that they're smarter than black people? The angry woman thinks that he's smarter than most black people. Tampon thinks he's smarter than most black people. Officer Tap Dance, the raccoon, thinks that he's smarter than all black people. Ringo, the zesty tether by the name of Dingo, he thinks that he's smarter than. So what you see here is, let's talk about pattern recognition. All of these Sambos and raccoons think that they're smarter than all black people. This is how they think. That's their mindset. Ringo is not smarter than anyone. The angry woman is not smarter than anyone. The angry woman contradicts himself. He contradicts himself damn near every time he speaks. So the angry woman is not smarter than anyone. I'm not saying that the brother is dumb, but he's not smarter than most black people. Absolutely not. The man contradicts himself damn near every time he speaks. So does Officer Tap Dance. So does Tampon Daniels.
Look at this devious raccoon. Yo, he think he's smart. Yo, listen, bruh. Yo, listen, yo, he thinks he's smarter than everybody else. He thinks that playing the wrong audio does not enhance or slow down. Look at him, bruh. Look at him. Oh, good white folks, I got y'all. I got you, good white folks. Yo, look at this devious raccoon. Yo, he thinks he's smarter than everybody else. He thinks that he's good. Yo, he thinks he's getting away with it. Tatum thinks he's getting away with it. In his mind, you can't tell him he's not getting away with it right now. You can't tell him he's not fooling y'all right now, bruh. All right? You cannot convince Tatum that he's not fooling y'all right now, bruh. Yo, and the reason why I'm even allowing for his audio to play is because we already watched the full audio before, and on our last live stream, we already went through the full audio. But I'm just playing this so y'all can see how dishonest Tatum is. How dishonest these people are, right? Look at how dishonest he is. Look at this, man. Just look. He's looking like somebody who believes they're getting away with it. But fam, Tatum, nobody is buying what you're selling. We all already heard the audio. Enhance, slow down. We heard the full audio, right? So you playing the audio, the non-enhanced version, over your Rodecaster audio, which, by the way, all right, Tatum had the option, because I also have a Rodecaster. I'm also on Streamlabs OBS. So Tatum had the option on Streamlabs OBS to increase the gain. He does not increase the gain at all. He does not play the enhanced version that you could really hear it. Tatum plays a version that his audience can barely even hear, but is a part.
Yeah, man. He's playing a cold game right here, a cold, calculated game. Officer Tatum will sell his butt for money and validation from the white community. He will sell his behind to get money and validation from the white community. He's been doing it for years. So why would he stop now?
The plan. This is his plan. Look at him. Look at him. He's getting away with it. Oh, let's pause, bro. Let's see if we could get a different color, man. But pause, bro. Is there any black here? Oh, okay, bet. Let's see if we can get nah, man. Yeah, bro. We gotta. All right, the raccoon chip has activated. Okay, all right. The raccoon chip has activated, sir. Okay, the raccoon chip has activated, sir. Look at, all right, all right. Tatum, hey, bro, this is how he feels. Fully activated. All right, the raccoon chip has fully activated within Tatum. Now believes he is getting away with murder, and the white folks will be proud of him. Look at this, man. Tatum, you should be, you should be unpleased with yourself, Tatum. You should be unpleased, bruh. Very unpleased, man. Let's get back to this, man.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're stinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
Oh, you ain't hear that either, huh, Tatum? You ain't hear that either, huh, Tatum? Yo, but Tatum, bro, Tatum's so dumb. And here's how you know, too, right? And here's how, right, that the audio is, again, the audio that y'all are like hearing from me is different. I increased my gain by 5. So it's dramatically louder than whatever Tatum is currently playing and whatever he's hearing. So you know Tatum can't even hear the audio because Tatum is still where the parts already came and went, right? The audio already came and went, but Tatum is still trying to listen, which tells you he can't even hear what he's playing, right? Because the part that he's looking for has already came and went. So he can't even hear what he's playing at all. But he wants you to believe that we the problem and not him. Sir, you are still listening. Watch this. Look, watch this, okay? Look.
Okay.
Now watch this.
Look, oh, God.
The parts have already came and went. The part that Tatum's looking for have already came and went. But Tatum is still looking like with this dumb look because he doesn't realize the parts that he's quote unquote looking for has already came and went. So now Tatum, again, this right here is the admission that he can't even hear the very audio. So if you can't even hear the audio or quote unquote parts you're looking for, then how can you tell us that we're not hearing what we heard, where we played it enhanced?
All right. Go back to that screen real quick. I want to just look at what they're saying. They're saying cover up. I heard something similar to cover up. And
oh, you heard? Oh, but I thought you said, oh. Tatum, bro, you should be embarrassed with yourself, bro. Nah, say it again, Tatum. You heard what? Come on, tell us.
I want to
us,
just
Tatum.
look at what they're saying. They're saying cover up. I heard something similar to, and they probably was saying, can we cover up this hole that's in the boat or whatever that port is? It says you killed him. I didn't hear that. He's already dead. I didn't hear that. Is he dead? I didn't hear that. Nolan yells, or they yell Nolan. I didn't hear that. Nolan, wake up. I didn't hear that. Wake the F up. Now, we heard him cuss and say, shut the F up, right? We didn't hear no wake the F up. Now, why you get that out of this video? Y'all gonna go to hell, you keep playing and lying and putting stuff out there. Come on, play the lady that did the enhancements. I wish she didn't have a UFC shirt on, but that don't mean she worked for the UFC. I hope she don't.
We going to hell for criticizing the white man.
Because this ain't a good look, in my opinion. If she had something to do with that transcript. But let me let her speak. Roll it.
Okay, so before I
we going for criticizing the white man.
play this, I want to quickly explain what I did, what you're looking at on the screen, and why I chose to approach this audio the way that I did. As a professional audio engineer with experience in dialogue editing, dialogue cleanup, sound design, and post-production, I decided to work on that C-TO call using traditional audio processing techniques rather than relying on any AI voice separation or AI enhancement. My goal was pretty much to preserve as much of the original recording as possible while making the quieter dialogue and background audio easier to hear. So I basically used techniques such as subtractive EQ, compression, gain adjustments, noise frequency, noise reduction, frequency isolation, and other traditional processing methods.
Come on.
So what I did was I separated Vicky, the C-TO dispatcher, from Warren and the audio originating from the boat so that I can concentrate more closely on what was happening behind and around Warren, pretty much on the boat. And I specifically chose not to rely on AI because aggressive AI enhancements and voice isolation tools can sometimes introduce artifacts and distort the speech or create ambiguity around the sounds that were originally present. And for something this serious, I wanted my processing to remain as conservative as possible. You'll also notice time code and dialogue written on the side of the screen and pop up.
So she wrote this stuff on that screen.
No, Tatum, you're so dumb. Tatum, you're so dumb. Tatum, you're so dumb. No, Tatum, do you understand how clipping works? Tatum, no. She released the audio. Somebody took the audio and they transcribe the audio and they repost it. Oh my God. Hey bro, we are done with Tatum. Okay, let's go to Auntie Nancy Grace. Okay, because Nancy Grace putting belts behind, bro. All right, look. We done with Tatum, bro. All right, let's go to Auntie Nancy Grace. Okay, all right, let's go to Auntie Nancy Grace. All right, because Nancy Grace putting belts behind. Okay, yeah, she not playing. All right, she not playing. Okay, she ain't playing with them folks. But let's go to Auntie Nancy Grace, man, because Tatum is doing some bootlicking, bro. Let's get to Nancy Grace, man. Auntie did her thing with this one, bro.
It's very disheartening.
All right. There you go, man. I think we're going to wrap this one up. I didn't say it enough. And hold on 1 second. 1 second, you guys. Because he said some things that made sense, a whole lot of sense. Shout out to the poetic FLAKO for doing his job on this one. You know? Matter of fact, I'm going to break this down in another clip. I think I'm going to break it down in a whole nother clip. But what I'll do is I'm going to give you guys a snippet of this right now. I'm going to give you a snippet of this. And like, this dude is sad, man. We need to like...
And so they are.
Hey, listen, man. What's the excuse now, bro? What's the excuse now? Hey, yo, you know it's something serious. You know it's something serious when them white folks are saying, hey, bruh, something nefarious happened. When we were saying it, when the quote-unquote independent media personality, Auntie Nancy Grace has been putting belt to behind on this Nolan Wall situation, okay? Now let's hear from Nancy Grace and her dissection and analytical breakdown of this enhanced audio of the emergency call of Nolan Wall friends, okay? Now, if you listen to this audio, I hear things like, oh my God, Nolan, he's dead. Oh my God, Nolan. But here is Nancy Grace breaking down this audio, man. Again, Nancy Grace has been amazing, bro. Nancy Grace have been a delight, a refreshment from people like Tatum, who are disingenuous, lying grifters, okay? Let's get to it, man.
In the Nolan Wells investigation, enhanced distress call audio bombshell. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
Yeah.
He was face down on the beach right at the water's edge.
If he was sent face down, that also doesn't make sense to me. If he's face down, wouldn't blood pool just by nature of gravity this way?
So right now we've got a lot of questions, but as the second doctor says, this is all still pending investigation.
If this were your child, wouldn't you want to know what happened?
How can I help you?
We're at the West Tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're thinking, can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the work coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankle?
We're just thinking, I don't know. We're going down.
Here, we already heard the audio.
What did we just hear? What was that?
Man, tell him, Auntie.
One more time, please.
Oh, man. Yes, please. Oh, my God.
Detail assistant.
Hey, we're at the West.
Wait, one second. Oh, wait, hold on. Have y'all been... Wait, one second. Y'all did not hear that. 1 second. Y'all did not hear that. Come on, let's go.
Please.
Detail assistant. Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the West Tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're thinking.
Coming up, sir.
Down.
Mac, did you just hear what I heard?
Yes, we heard
Now, this has been transcribed, and this is the CTO dispatch call. Because, Dave, when I first heard this, I thought, has this been doctored?
No.
Is this real?
Nah, it's not. Nah, it's 100% real. They thought it was doctored, and then TMZ dropped the audio and confirmed it, and now all of a sudden it's not doctored. but we just race hustling and we just grifters. Yo, which is why I like Nancy Grace. Yo, Nancy Grace just calls it down the middle. See, Nancy Grace ain't here to do no fluff. She ain't here to F around. She calls it down the middle. She don't care about your color, about your race. She gonna call it down the middle. People like Tatum, who's now saying, because after we done walked them down, because Tatum came out and said, when this first started, man, there's no evidence of no foul play. We done walked that down, provided so much evidence. Now he's saying there's foul play, but there was 4 black people on the island out of 2,000 white folks. So hence, that because 1/4% was black, we just can't say that white folks did this. We got to make black people a suspect too. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. First, he said there was no, first Officer Tapdan said that there was no foul play. Once we proved that there was foul play, now he's saying we need to investigate the black folks. But you just said there was no foul play, Officer Tatum. Oh, now that we proved that there is some foul play, now we got to look at the black folks and make them suspects. Yeah, okay.
Tatum. But Nancy Grace is calling us how we call it, bro. Man, Nancy, cook them folks, man.
Nancy, this is coming from Mississippi, from the actual official. Okay, when we get into the Mississippi Fish and Wildlife and the reserve putting this out for the public, this is not like from Dave Mack's recording. This is an official recording, Nancy, that is being issued, and it's shocking when you listen to this call for a tow, for the sea tow. Going further into it, Nancy, you're picking apart all of the different voices that can be heard on this one phone call, trying to determine what is really taking place on this boat that is allegedly sitting in 31 feet of water, a depth of 31 feet. And a bilge pump not working, claiming they're sinking, and calling for help. And yet, in the background, are we really hearing all of this other activity?
Guys, this was released from the MDR, the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. Alexis Tereszczuk joining us out of LA, just joining us now, Crime Stories investigative reporter as well. Alexis, the transcription, I want you to listen to it, Alexis, as we play it again. This is obtained from the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. It's not something we just found on TikTok. Listen.
Detail assistant, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're thinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the work coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd you
Hello?
say? Hey,
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just thinking. I don't know. We're going down.
Some idiot says doctored audio. Man, cut it out.
Okay, Alexis Tereszczuk, jump in.
So it sounds like before the woman starts talking, the operator, everyone in the background is saying, "Is he dead, Nolan?" Wait, and
Oh my God.
so they are.
Man, hey, listen, man. What's the excuse now, bruh? What's the excuse now? Hey, yo, you know it's something serious. You know it's something serious when them white folks are saying, hey, bruh, something nefarious happened. When we were saying it, when the quote-unquote independent media person was saying, because we not ish, right? Like, we ain't ish. We just YouTubers. We not ish, right? Y'all need for TMZ and Nancy Grace and them other folks to come online and tell y'all what we told y'all a week ago. They behind us. We're leading the charge. They behind us. It's something serious when you got 2 middle-aged suburban white women telling you they heard exactly what we heard.
And I hear what you're saying, Flacco, but see, they're using Officer Tatum for that same reason. They're saying, well, see, a black man agrees with us. A black man doesn't feel like they're guilty. That's why those white boys, Nolan Wells' friends, went to Officer Tatum in the first place, because it looks good for a black man to defend white people. That's why they pay Officer Tatum. See, we even got black people who believe us. We even got a black man that's calling out his own people, so it must be true. So they use Officer Tatum to defend white people, to say that even a black man agrees with us. That's what they use him for. He's a black man and even he agrees with us.
But you got people like Officer Tatum telling you, nah, man, that call ain't Satan, huh? So everybody and their mama, everybody who heard that audio heard the exact same thing, but somehow we're all making it up. Man, listen, man. Yo, that audio was all I need to hear. I don't care about what else they drop. I don't care about what type of out of context evidence. I don't care what type of fake witness they. Nah, that audio to me is all we need. That audio tells us exactly what took place. Is you crazy? This no race. This is two middle-aged suburban white women who is telling you what they heard. And they heard, oh my God, Nolan, no. Is he dead? Oh my God. That's what they heard. So what are we still questioning?
Concerned about Nolan there saying literally, is he dead?
What
Nobody has ever, none of the kids on this boat have ever admitted anybody said that they thought Nolan was dead on the boat. This is the first time that we are hearing this.
What is the chance that this has been doctored in some way, Alexis Tereshchuk? Because circulating on the internet was a scene where another young man was face down being attacked on the sand. That was not Nolan Wells. That's not Nolan Wells. Repeat. So there are bottom feeders that are fabricating evidence and circulating it, and it's whipping up all sorts of hostility. But regarding this, have you listened to it independently of any transcription?
I have listened to it. I've listened to it over and over, and I've listened to the audio where it's only the sound of the boy calling in and not the operator's voice. So it takes a little bit of the distraction out, and you can just hear the voices, the one friend saying, is he dead?
I didn't even get to that part yet. I didn't even, the first enhanced audio was enough for us. That was enough for me, man. Right? These good old wild women, they did the extra work. They went ahead and took out the operator voice, enhanced the background, enhanced the other, and they heard it in 4K, clear as day. What are we talking about here, man? What else are we discussing? What else? Fam, listen, and right after this, and know what's crazy too, though? Right? Like, what's like really odd and really crazy? So the investigators told Nolan parents and told Benjamin Crump they're not releasing any information.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to jeopardize the investigation, right?
Well, if there was nothing to hide, then you're not jeopardizing the investigation. The reason that they said we're not going to give out any information because they already know what it is, and they're trying their best to hide the foul play that took place. That's exactly what it is. Why else would you say, I don't want to jeopardize the investigation, so we're not going to release anything to the public? Come on, man.
As soon as this audio dropped, they started to feed TMZ information. Listen, man. Nah, bruh. Nah, we seen two people said they seen Nolan on the island in the nighttime. So it's impossible. What? How? Man, cut it out, man.
We are hearing somebody very worried. They're saying, is he dead? Somebody, you think you might have heard them say Nolan right before that. Somebody then says, oh my God. So the thing is, there have been a lot of.
Hey man, it's a whole lot going on. I need everybody to hype these streams, man. Go back and look at all of my videos, all of my live streams. Make sure that you guys hype these streams to get us in the algorithm, because we deserve to be in the algorithm. I hear a whole lot of phonies and busters doing content, getting numbers. There's no way that Red Supreme shouldn't be getting big numbers for this content that I do. So make sure that you guys hype the live streams. Now, one thing I will say, sometimes the hype doesn't pop up right away, but whenever the hype button does pop up, I need all of you guys who are really rocking with me to hit the hype button, because we got to win. We got to boost these numbers. The truth is the truth, and we need to put it out there. Let's get back to the content before I end this segment.
False videos. People have said there was a video where Nolan was screaming, saying, give me my phone back. His friend says, no, that's me in the video. There have been tons of AI generated videos and images and things, but this is the official audio from the organization.
Okay, let's hear the audio to which you are referring. Listen. Now, it's my understanding
that was Tristan. Tristan said that was him. They said that was Tristan. They said that Tristan had to leave the island early because of that. But somehow Tristan is telling us what happened to Nolan at 4:30. I thought Tristan was long gone from the island when the quote-unquote boat departed the island. Because Tristan got into a fight, got kicked off. He left the island, right? Got kicked off. So why is Tristan doing a sit-down interview with Tatum explaining what happened to Nolan at 4 p.m., 4:35, 6, blah, 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 if they're telling us that was Tristan and Tristan got kicked off the island early? It doesn't make nothing here makes sense at all.
back that
At all.
that sound we just played is real sound. That is not doctored sound, but someone else claims that's them saying, "Give me my phone back." That is not Nolan Wells. Explain.
Nancy, what we have is some friends that were also out on the boat trip out to Horn Island that were with Nolan Wells and were friends with Nolan Wells.
I'm gonna bring Big E. I'm gonna bring my dog Big E up, man. Big E is in the background, so I'm gonna bring Big E up, man. Listen, man. Officer Tap Dance Tatum is a despicable human being. He's a poor excuse for a black man. I believe that Officer Tatum is worse than Steven from Django. This is just downright ridiculous. I'm gonna bring Big E up. Big E, you got the flow, bro. Man, you got it, Big E. Yo, Big E, you got it, brother. I don't know what's up with Big E's audio, but Big E, whenever you ready to tap in, just tap in, brother.
Claim that was him, that he was that were with Nolan Wells and were friends with Nolan Wells. Claim that.
Let me see it, Big E. Hey, Big E, maybe you gotta bounce out and come back in and reconnect, because I don't hear your audio, brother. But anytime you want to speak, man, you got the flow. Let's go.
That was him, that he was the one that was saying, "Give me my phone back," that it wasn't Nolan Wells. So we've got an idea.
Yo, what up, bro? You there? Yo. Yeah, I don't know. Biggie, maybe you got to drop down and come back up.
Identification from the person that says, "I was the one saying that. It wasn't Nolan Wells." And when you listen to the audio, Nancy, it does seem like it is not Nolan Wells saying, "Give me my phone back." It sounds like the guy claiming it.
Guys, a lot of confusion surrounding the audio that has been released by the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. This, as we are also learning about an offer made by the United Cajun Navy to Ben Crump, who is representing Nolan's family, to Todd Terrell joining us, the president of the Cajun Navy. Todd, thank you for being with us tonight.
Perfect. Now, we are going to review the rest of this tonight, people. Okay?
All right, man. So this is what we're going to do. It is what it is. Now, I'm going to see if Big E, if you want to pull back up and we can see if the audio works. So you're welcome to do that, my brother. But right now, for some reason, I can't hear you. So hold up 1 second. Officer Tatum is pathetic, bro. He is pathetic. Then you got Angry Man giving Tatum a shout out. The only reason that Angry Man is giving Tatum a shout out is because Tatum has a big platform. If Officer Tatum didn't have a big platform, the angry woman would not say anything. He wouldn't even say the man's name if he didn't have a large platform. That's how pathetic the angry woman is pathetic as well. What black man in his right mind gonna give props to an Officer Tatum? Seriously. Hit the like button if you haven't already, family. Peace, love, and blessings. I'm gone, man. Catch me on the next one. I appreciate you guys for pulling up. I got another show coming up, and it just is what it is. I appreciate you all. When it comes to this game, I'm gonna stay involved.